and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adjustment to the agenda, number 3, item number 9, due to an illness, the policy committee didn't get to meet, so we won't be doing that item.
Nice. Are you feeling better?
I am,
Good.
much.
Glad it didn't change your goodness.
Public comment, the school board endorses the concept that community participation in the affairs of the schools is essential to improve the quality of education for its students. To be eligible to address the board as an individual should reside within the school unit, be an employee of the school unit, or be invited to the board by the board or superintendent to speak. I'll get through this. The board shall give due attention to comments and contributions from the audience, but shall not be expected to respond or take action immediately. Audience inquiries other than simple questions shall be referred to the superintendent, who shall investigate or consider the matter and report to the citizens and to the board. If the board action is indicated, the item may be included in the agenda for subsequent meeting. Comments will be heard for no longer than 3 minutes per person. Do you have any comments or comments? Okay, we'll move on. Approval of minutes, can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the school board meeting January 13th, 2026, barring any errors or omissions.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? I go. Payroll warrant, can I get a motion? Please.
I move to direct the superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer to each party listed herein, the sum set against each name contained in the following payroll warrants, school payroll warrants, January 29th, 2026, PR 26-16, $154,841.42, PR 26-16D, $80,314.85. And February 12th, 2026, PR 26-17, $148,162.42. And PR 26-17D, $80,188.70.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? I vote.
I'd like to make a motion to direct the superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer to each party listed herein, the sum set against each name contained in the following school payable warrants. January 29th, 2026, AP 26-23, $163,338.22, SA 26-20, $14,420.12. That'd be SJ Skank Junior, Skank High School student accounts, students high school accounts, SA 2621, $6,888.82, KFCU scholarships, SA 2622, 10,000, Sarah J. Thompson scholarships, February 12th, 2026, AP 2624, $88,815.59, SA 2623, $13,809.23. That's the Stearns Junior Senior High School student account, as
Second.
was the first one.
Any discussion? All in favor? I vote. See if the board will approve the senior class trip.
Motion to approve the senior class trip, May 14th and 15th, 2026, to the American Dream Mall in New Jersey.
Second.
Can I stop just a second?
Yeah.
We actually have the class president here, advisor, and she's here to give us a little presentation before you go. I was like, oh, you guys can vote, that's fine.
Well,
Not here.
The only thing you can do is mess it up now.
I've gone for discussion.
I was like.
Mm,
All right.
Let's
Yes, so we have done this exact trip 2 years ago. My kids really loved it. It was a little nervous going that far originally, 9 hours on a bus, not great. The kids did not mind it. Nobody was crabby, so it was really nice. The seniors this year obviously heard of those kids going the previous time, how much fun they had. So they have been working really hard the past few years to raise enough money to go do it again. We've made minor changes of the schedule just to leaving different times of the day to make it. So we want to leave it like 6 a.m, be able to check into the hotel, have some time to kind of recuperate from the bus, go get dinner at the mall, kind of see what it's all about, and then go back the next day and actually do everything they want to do at the mall and then come home after dinner that night.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Opportunity to have a blast.
Yeah,
They
it's
had a blast
the first
the
time.
first time.
Yeah, it's really cool because the mall has just stuff for everyone. There's an indoor water park, an indoor ski park, indoor amusement park. There's a bunch of like game things that they can go to, like arcade. There's
Might have to go without the kids.
yeah, really. There's just a ton of stuff to do, not just shopping.
Yeah.
When you hear mall, kids are like, I don't want to shop.
Right.
But you could fill a whole day with not shopping opportunities, which is really cool.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
So how many students do we have this year, just so everybody's aware?
38 students, I believe 36 are eligible to go on the trip based off of participation and fundraising and stuff like that. We have our parent meeting on Thursday
Oh.
for the parents to meet with them, to let them know, if your kid's bad, you have to come get them in New Jersey. So it puts
some gas in.
it puts it on them to, instill being behaving, not just from us, so. Those meetings usually go well, the parents put in a deposit that the kid gets back if they come. It's just to prevent us from having, 'cause in previous years, we've had people say, yeah, we'll go, and then morning of, they don't show up.
Yeah.
And you pay for all this stuff and then they don't show up, kind of screws you, so having that deposit, parents are like, you're going, I paid that. And then they get it back, so if you go, you get it back, so it's not a huge financial burden.
Right.
Which is nice.
And have we gotten so far that we know who the chaperones will be?
I think
Guys and gals?
I have it narrowed down. It'll be myself, Katie Carr, Officer Frank, and then, pretty sure we're gonna bring Anthony Moffett with us.
Okay. Yeah, no parents. No parents.
Matt
Anybody
was
has
my
any?
number 2 boy, and he said, I'm busy. He said, okay, thanks, man.
No parents? How about grandparents?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't want to. No.
Yeah, you guys are just going at the same time.
I'm
Let me see you guys here.
so excited for them. They're gonna have
Right.
they're gonna have such a good time.
Yeah, it's really fun.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Now go ahead and vote.
Take a vote. All in favor? 5-all.
Wait. Now,
Thank you. Later, dear.
I gotta go make dinner.
Okay, now we're down to number 10. Let's see if the board will approve the administrative contracts for Nicholas Health. Well,
Mr. Raymond, you didn't do number 9.
I think we.
I
They
did-
tabled
didn't
it.
do it on purpose.
I think, yeah.
That
we
was the
adjusted.
adjustment.
No, just the one.
Just
item.
the one.
Oh, just the one.
Just the one, yeah,
So,
because we're gonna circle that one back through our committee.
No, I gotta,
Sorry.
That's right.
we've got a meeting next week, I think it is.
Yeah.
Next week.
You can do
Yes,
all
next
of them except for.
ID.
Cool.
I was gonna say it's not, Cam took it off, so it's not on
Yeah.
there at all, so you can do all the ones that are
oh,
present.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right, to see if the board will approve the adoption of these policies. Want to do a motion?
Motion to adopt the following policies, new policies, HA negotiations, goals / priority objectives, IE organization of instruction. Revised policies, IBEA English as a second language, ESL, LAU plan, IGA curriculum development and adoption, IHA basic instruction program.
Second that.
So sorry for the confusion, but these are the ones we went over last time in our meeting,
Mhm.
and we just had done first readings. And we're gonna circle back around to the other one, so that's the reason why that one's off.
Gotcha. Any discussion? All in favor? 5 yes. Okay, now we're to see if the board will approve administrative contracts for Nicholas Keller, Beth Heavy, and Jerry Robbins.
I move to approve the administrative contract for Nicholas Cullen as Assistant Principal Athletic Director for the 2026-2027 school year. With a salary of 76,000 with benefits as negotiated.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor? Five all. And I have a motion to approve. uh, Administrative contract for Beth Peavy.
Make a motion to approve an administrative contract for Beth Peavy as principal of Stearns Junior Senior High School for the 2026-2027 school year, $93,178 with benefits as negotiated.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Five all. Motion to approve administrative contract for Jared Robbins.
Motion to approve the administrative contract for Jared Robbins as technology director for the 26-27 school year. 46,500 with benefits as negotiated.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Five all.
Just as a comment to add to all three of those that you just voted on, the increase in wage for each of those individuals was either $500 or $1,000. All three.
Number 11, see if the board will approve the $2 million school revolving renovations fund grant.
So moved.
Second.
You.
Yes.
Hey, can we just pause there just for a second? So, the Buildings and Grounds, Committee, Kevin Libby and Donnie and Louie, we've been meeting now, regularly for a while. And this, application was put in, a couple of months ago. I can't give you the exact date. Louie could, but, he's not here right now. So, this is correct me if I get any of this wrong, Kevin. This was a conversion of our heating system at Granite Street. And so right now, our heating system is done by steam, so water. So in a system that was built in the 50s, is creating a lot of corrosion because the heated water in the pipes, mostly going underneath like concrete, are getting to the part where they're very thin and worn. So this whole process is all to upgrade all of our heating system and due to the corrosion. So you don't have it, but you're welcome to come and take a look at the document, but pictures were provided as part of this application. And I know some of it's hard, but like when you talk about the corrosion, like this type of stuff. And so a lot of these pipes all run underneath concrete, because that's like the way that they built buildings at that time. So this is, like I said, we've had multiple conversations, right, Kevin?
For 3 years now.
I was gonna say, for a few years, this has been a concern that Louis has really been paying attention to. And this felt like the year, because I can't remember what it was, but something failed. Remember that red thing? I don't know what it was, but it failed, and so it kind of bubbled to the top of him thinking like it's time to go for a revolving grant fund so that we can not have an issue with this. All of that said, on January 30th, we were awarded the grant. So Louis' work in figuring out what all of this cost would be, what some of how the project would be managed, because it will disrupt, the work in the building, things like that. So it is for $2 million, and it is a 70-30. So 70% of this is forgiven and 30% of this would fall onto the shoulders of us. Because it's more than $500,000, the terms are set up in 10 years. So that's about $60,000 a year for us. We have 30 days to accept this. We have a meeting set up with the town council, the town manager and chair. in order to talk about some of the terms and what we'll do to accept. We haven't accepted it yet. But those conversations are all set up because I don't know, if you, like, over the last couple of years, if you've listened to any of the town council meetings or any of those things, but they have not appreciated the fact that when they don't want us to have a lot of extra money, right? So like sitting here in our account. So we were very clear for the last couple of years to say, so what happens if, like, because Louis been really concerned that something would burst, and if it did, our system is down. Well, nothing's burst. We now have some money, so we are going to the town council to say, okay, now's the time. You said you'd have our back. We don't have lots of cash hanging around. This project is, $1.6 million given to us because it's a forgiven loan. Where do we stand? How can you help us? That type of thing. So that conversation is going to happen next week. Provided that it goes well, we will accept this. If it doesn't go well, we're going to have to think about how it works into our budget, because it is something that we're probably going to have to do before we have a catastrophic failure of our heating system. Okay, all of that said, I'm happy to answer any question that you might have, because for some of you, this is a new conversation.
I do have a question.
Yeah,
So we're gonna have to pay 400,000 out of that,
six.
out of the, what's that, 6,000?
600,000
600,000. All right.
over the course of 10 years, if that's the loan.
So
setup
do
that
we,
choose.
so it's gonna be a loan, not a grant?
Well, it's the revolving renovation funds, they use both words, because it kind of ends up being both. The grant part is what the 70% that
Yeah.
they give us, as long as we fulfill the other portion.
And 600,000 is how you came up with the 60,000 a year.
Yes. Yes,
So we're asking the town for 600,000, then we pay them back? Or how's that gonna work?
I'll tell you next week after we talk with,
Okay.
and, Peter,
The 70-30, right?
yes, 70,
So the 30 is 600,000,
yes,
which when we're talking about 2 million.
yes.
Okay, and granted is like 1.6. You say, like, for the project wise,
The whole project's 2 million. The
Okay.
whole project is 2 million, and then it's broke down into the 70-30. The 70 would be forgiven
Mhm.
as long as we fulfill our requirement of the 30.
okay.
What is the
trying
interest rate? Is it
Right.
gonna be a low?
I don't know that we don't have any information on that just yet, that
I imagine it's going to be through the bond bank.
Okay,
Yes,
Stay with
right,
the
right.
previous.
and we've paid off our other loan for the
Yes.
boilers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. We're very fortunate to be in the position where it's something that Buildings and Grounds has been looking at for a while, and to have this. I'm anticipating our conversation is gonna go well with the town council, and we'll, be able to take advantage of this for our school system.
So one of the boilers is still steam and it just kills those things. We replaced one boiler and he's been working, keeping the other one going and just gotta be done.
It was valves, wasn't it? Remember those
We showed us some valves, but I mean,
that he actually could put, it was behind something,
Yeah.
and when he went in there, like it crumbled in his hand, so we just really know that the pipes and things that we can't see, the potential that they're in as bad a repair as that is really strong, where it's deep and it's moisture, so.
Yeah, the science of it, with water, you don't get any air in there, you don't get any rust.
Closed.
With steam, you get air in there, you get rust,
it'll be
it's corroding.
And hot water is much more efficient.
more fish, yeah.
Louis will be here and give you a much better presentation than Shelley's giving you.
I just want to know a talent question mostly.
Yeah.
Because we haven't talked with them, or you know what I mean, if it is unfavorable, or
Yeah.
if it's, and we approve today, what happens?
That's a great question. I guess what we're asking you to do today is to give us permission to move forward, and we will, that's a great question. We're talking with them next Tuesday or Wednesday. We will have to accept it shortly after that. I guess if we had to, we could bring everybody back together if there was a conversation that we needed to have. Right now, the simple math is that we would add $60,000 into our annual budget for 10 years. So at the worst, that's what we're asking you for. But I will take notes and send everybody information on that, and if we have to have a meeting before our 30 days is up, we'll have to call something.
Okay,
All set?
Good question.
All right, all in favor? 5-all.
I'm very enthusiastic.
Oh, come on.
All right, so the next part is, budget timeline, budget discussion. And so, we've just been putting some things together. Some preliminary numbers. So the 279 is down a little over $200,000. Down. So that means we've got to make it up or figure it out. So the things that we've done so far, working on version 1. Last year, I think Rhonda said we were somewhere around 11 versions, so version 1 will be ready this week. Salaries for FY 27 have been entered, 35 ed tech, 6 food service, 5 custodial, 5 secretarial clerical, 8 administration, 46 teachers. So those numbers have gone in as preliminary numbers. And as we put in an estimate for health insurance, because as you know, we're always waiting on health insurance, so we went on a little bit higher than what they have told us to anticipate. Unemployment and workers' comp usually comes to us somewhere in March, so we'll be able to add a better number there. Our bus service has a multi-year contract, so we're able to put that number in. Our insurance for like our property for buildings and land is estimated at $124,559. So those are all the beginning, like bones, the beginning structure of what the budget development looks like. And our people are our most valued resource. So that is always the biggest part of the budget. And so there's some preliminary work with that in right now. Department meetings are happening. Most all of the department information is in, and we'll start looking to see what that all looks like. We'll have 1 or 2 or as needed workshops in March. So kind of keep a look on what your Tuesdays look like, because we'll try to be consistent and probably go with some Tuesdays. We're looking for our final numbers to hopefully be in front of you by April 7th, by that board meeting. And well before that, a couple of times, hopefully we'll do the whole ruler thing and go through all of those pieces so that you can look at all of what those changes are. Same document that we've used the past couple of years so that the increase and decreases and percentages and all of that are there.
I'm fond of the rulers.
I know,
I love ruler time.
I like that.
Ruler time's
process
my
too.
favorite.
Currently, the town presentation is scheduled for April 23rd, so we keep everything in line. If we get all the numbers in that we need, like the health insurance and those things, then we're looking for April 23rd. Between April 23rd and June 9th, the town vote is June 9th. Then we have a little bit of wiggle room there if we need to revisit something. If there's something that's not in, if there's a reason why we need to tweak something, if we need to revisit something, then there's a couple of weeks in there. So that's, I just wanted you to like a couple of things out of this. Know that our ED 279 came in a little bit low. Know what the timeframes were and maybe kind of keep an eye open to keeping some Tuesdays. And know that actually the first round of the budget was probably on that form that we're used to, will be pretty much ready this week. On the international front, they're looking for some documentation to continue our relationship. We have three sister schools, you'd say. And one of them is looking for some documentation that we haven't typically had in our school system. I did have a conversation with the focus group at Stearns last year. And it is not a process that they feel they have the capacity to work on. So we're still trying to kind of troubleshoot what, if anything, we're going to be able to do in order to retain that agreement. It's important for us because we want to have the relationship with our foreign students. But realistically, it's important for us because we use that income to help support some of our own education programs for kids. I think that is what I've got for overview. There'll be lots more coming out. We'll send you some emails. We'll give you the drafts as they come out. Rhonda, is there anything that I haven't said that you wanted to add? Rhonda's sick, so.
No.
Trying not to be. I know, I think you pretty much covered it. I took some notes, I wasn't, no, I think you pretty much covered it, Shelley.
Okay.
Rhonda, are you gonna be in tomorrow?
I'm trying to play it by ear with the weather. We heard
Okay.
you guys getting 2 to 4 tonight and 2 to 4 tomorrow. I'm not thinking I'm gonna battle the weather out, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious for a computer issue.
Yep, I can text you later,
Okay.
or first thing in the morning.
Thank you.
Shelley, what was the number for the health? Will we put 25% in? Or 20?
We put 20.
20?
Yep. So in the 3 years since I've been here, it's gone up exponentially. And we honestly, we always seem to underestimate it. So I'm hoping that 20 is a better number. Last year, I think we ended up going up 3% from what we had started with. So
And us being down 200,000, some of the other local schools went down even worse than that.
yes and no. I'm working at Katahdin as well. Katahdin went down twice this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really serious. But there's so many factors between enrollment. There's just districts are losing kids, and I say it that way because people are moving, right? There's just people are more mobile, they're going to other jobs, other locations, other towns. And we have a lot of expenses in some of our programs, making sure that we're prepared for our 4-year-olds who will be coming next year. There's good news on that front. We had a meeting with Lori Whitmore from the Department of Ed with CDS, and they are giving us some of our beginning costs. But when they came here to Millinocket, both of our preschool rooms, they thought looked really good. Just as a comparison, when they went to the Katahdin preschool room, they're like, you need some stuff. So they're trying to level the playing field for all kiddos coming into main schools as 4-year-olds, as having similar materials and a similar setting. So everything from sensory things to even appropriate seating. They're really trying to make the beginning for all 3 and 4-year-olds equitable all across the state.
I was just gonna say, we're already doing 4-year-olds, so this will be 3 and 4-year-olds coming up.
We're starting, that's a great statement. We're starting with 4-year-olds. We will be doing 3-year-olds, offering our program to 3-year-olds not next year, but the year after. That's the final year to accept 3 and 4-year-olds. We actually we're a universal 4-year-old program and have been for years here in Millinocket. That's not the case for all across the state of Maine. I was stunned actually at how many school systems don't invite 4-year-olds to their programs. But the difference is CDS manages a lot of 4-year-old programs now, not public school. Next year, for Millinocket kiddos, there won't be an option for CDS to manage them. There'll only be us. It's not a big change for us, Kevin, because we do have a good program. We have substantial materials in rooms, which not every school system has. So we're lucky in that respect that we have teachers who already are acquainted with the 4-year-old curriculum and the developmental goals of children versus some school systems where it really will be new. Now, a year from now, when we invite 3-year-olds in, we might experience some things that will be a little bit new to us, but the teachers we have, I'm sure will be ready.
Okay, thank you.
All right, food service coordinator, Mia Charette, report.
Hello.
Hi, Mia. Yep. Sound was on and then off. You're muted, Mia. I don't know if you know it.
I didn't know it. I was giving my report to myself. I'm so sorry.
Try again.
I will try again. Hello, everybody. Our staff served 4,925 breakfasts and 5,290 lunches in January. We've been fortunate to have a few new subs join our team. They've really been amazing the last few weeks. We've had quite a few staff out, some long-term, so it's been amazing to welcome them. So appreciate them and their willingness to join our bit of a crazy time in the kitchens. Last week, we did send out our virtual day meal kits. They included tortilla chips, salsa, nacho cheese, veggie juice, which surprisingly is very good. You would not know it was actually veggie juice if it was not written on the container. So I hope some of our kids get past the verbiage on the package and actually give it a go. Some craisins, sunflower seeds, goldfish grams, and milk. These meals are designed to meet our high school meal pattern. So they're appropriate for all age groups from pre-K on up. And they're good through the middle of April. So we're all set for the rest of the winter, including tomorrow, so if we want to do that, that's fine with me. We are using up the last bit of lettuce in our last grow cycle. It's been really amazing to be able to offer that on our salad bars. TJ Brown's going to be using it after vacation for his creative writing class, which is pretty exciting. So it's going to make its maiden voyage into the classroom. So I'm hoping that catches on as we move through the spring and into next fall. That's about it for me, though. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Mia.
Can I interrupt? So we went by Jan's, and Jan is actually at another board meeting tonight. So she did submit something for you. She's not here because she's attending another.
Okay, voice of educator report. Hello.
You're good.
Okay, so yes, I'm reading for Heather because she has the creeping crud. So, here we go. The MEA is partnering with the Wellness Committee to bring some fun activities and prizes to the March 13th workshop day. The focus is promoting a positive work-life balance to support healthy lifestyles. And in collaboration with administration, MEA and administrators will jointly train staff on March 13th regarding the dangerous behavior prevention law. MEA members have already attended one meeting and additional sessions will be scheduled. While this is a challenging topic, the implementation of this process should help reduce stress for staff, which also ties back into work-life balance. And 2 units have been negotiating. One unit is on its way to a ratification vote, and the other unit is continuing to negotiate. We know that is really well at this time.
Thank you. Nice. Thank you.
Ta-da!
And we're supposed to do one clap, right?
That's right.
I learned that.
The UPA class.
No way.
All right, Dick was calling this quality anyway.
Ball game, right?
Right?
Yep.
Stearns Junior Senior High School Principal Beth Peavy.
Thank you. I was excited for tonight's board meeting. We have a lot of really great news to share. First, I'd like to name the class valedictorian and salutatorian for the class of 2026. Our valedictorian will be Eva Blanchette, and our salutatorian is Olivia Anderson. Yes.
I love that both so much. All these kids are so great.
So they've worked really, really hard. I have also named our main principals award winner this year, and that will be our own Madison Carr. Yeah.
And that's
So-
where I'll play.
Blackstone's having a heck of a year.
We're really happy. I just had a conversation with, Mr. Libby. And we talked about the main principals award is not simply based on academics, it's also based on integrity and honor, citizenship and involvement in the school and the community. So it was well earned by
See, I
Madison
don't
too.
know
So
how many of you know Maddie, but she is a quality person. And she'll be a quality graduate from Stearns High School.
we'll have valedictorian and
Yes.
salutatorian. So
Absolutely.
lot to celebrate there for the senior class. Last week, sorry, this is a little late, but last week was National Guidance Counselor Week. But it's never too late to say thank you. So if you see KVP or Sue Buzzle, please thank them for all they do for our students every single day. WABI TV5 was here, the surprise squad. I included a link in my report, so if you haven't watched it, please do. Knew nothing about it except I was contacted by one of the general managers there. Her name is Kim Lee. And she's like, hey, so we have one of your teachers nominated for the surprise squad. Here's the date we'd like to come. Does that work? It went back and forth for a few weeks, but she swore me to secrecy.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult to not talk about it, say anything. And I was just like, oh, we're having an assembly. I had to ask Mr. Waite to help us set up the auditorium. And he was like, what kind of assembly? What do I need to do? And I'm like, I don't even remember, Mr. Waite. I think it was PBIS or it was something else. And it was difficult. It was really, really difficult. So when they came, it was amazing. So a few of them were out on the stage and pretending that it was like any kind of assembly. Boring assembly is what they were shooting for. And then Kim, one of the managers, cut off Brian Sullivan, was the newscaster that had started out, cut him off, turned on some music, and all the other crew just came running in with huge bouquets of balloons and their surprise squad t-shirts and started throwing beach balls around in the auditorium. They had the kids going crazy. And so the winner of that was Anna Loom. And she was very taken aback by that. And we were a little bit worried about how she'd take it because some people, the spotlight doesn't bother them at all. And Mrs. Loom avoids it at all costs. They made her go up on stage and say a few words, but they gifted her with $1,500 for herself, $1,500 for the school. And we put that into its own separate account so that we'll be able to like keep track of what that buys the for the students. And Anna and I have had some conversations around that. She's like, no, it definitely needs to go for something for the kids. So we're going to figure that all out. Another anchor, Sierra Dubois, I believe is how her name is pronounced, was there. And so they brought her up and she also received a reading nook. So it was a recliner, comfy chair, and a really cool bookcase. Everyone was jealous of the bookcase. It was like wooden and it swivels and they had a whole big basket to go with that. So a comfy blanket. It had a lap table to put a laptop on that was made out of like a beanbag with a hard top. And so it was really exciting. It was really fun. And I think at the end of the day, even Mrs. Loom was okay with it. And then we have a lot of news on the performing arts front. Show choir. High school is performing Grease this year. I've been down watching some practices. One Acton High School is doing a piece called Two Fronts. And I have read that and it is a serious piece and I think it'll be very moving. The show choir for middle school are doing Disney's Descendants, which are the descendants of villains of Disney characters. So that should also be really interesting. And then I also put a list of dates of things that you should know. So the District 5 Vocal Jazz and Show Choir Festival is Tuesday, February 24th, right here at Stearns. One Act Public Performance here is Tuesday, March 3rd at 7 p.m. One Act Regional Drama Festival is Friday, March 6th and Saturday, March 7th in Brewer. One Act State Drama Festival is Friday, March 20th and Saturday, March 21st. And the host is here. It was-
Breaking news.
That happened today.
Okay, so breaking news,
Yeah.
that'll be here. We have such a great facility to hold these festivals that it never surprises me when it says to be determined and then it winds up being us, so that's a great thing. The MMEA State Vocal Jazz and Show Choir Festival, Saturday, March 28th, here at Stearns. And Jazz Night performances, Tuesday, March 31st, and Wednesday, April 1st, here at Stearns. So please come out and see what the kids are doing. They work super hard. And I told Mrs. Waite at rehearsal the other day as I watched, I said, you guys are hurting cats right now. And I'm always, yes, and I'm always amazed that the end product is, you're wowed by it. There's so much talent in these kids and so much patience in their directors. And my final bit of news, so I wanted everyone to know that Miss Mary and I set up a time this morning that we talked to both staff at the same time to give them this news. But a few days ago, I heard from Senator King's office and was told that we are going to be the recipients of the CDS grant that we've been talking about for 3 years, in the amount of $1.448 million. I was so excited, but I read it 3 times because I thought, what's the catch and what's next, and am I reading this wrong? And then I let out a big whoop and Mrs. McGlellan came running back in and said, are you okay? I didn't know if you were laughing or crying, and I said, I think it's a little of both. I said, please read this and see that I'm reading this correctly. And she was like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. So very exciting. All of the projects that we put into it are pretty much divided between both buildings. And some of the things, in case you guys, it's been a while since I've talked about this. So some of the things that are included in this grant are a lot of technology, curriculum, textbooks, tables, chairs, desks, Promethean boards. There is a project to finish like the sensory rooms and some other projects that are been started at Granite. MacBooks, fob blocks for all the exterior doors. There's a whole host of projects in here. I don't know yet what the timeline will be. I know the next step is I'm waiting to get an email from the Federal Department of Education in which I have to submit a non-competitive grant in order to access the CDS funds. So I don't know how that works yet either. And Senator King's office has graciously told me that if there are, that sometimes that process gets delayed a little bit, but if it seems to be a very long time, then to contact them and they will help me through the process as well. So it's great, great news.
Excellent.
So exciting.
Any questions?
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
She's done really well because she has had two really big secrets that she's had to keep.
I'm not really good at
Yeah. Bursting at the seams.
There's just so many good things happening.
No.
Business manager, Rhonda Casey.
Well,
Rhonda, you're up.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I apologize. I probably will cough on you guys, but budget update through January 31st, 26. We have spent $4,218,029.54, or 48.17% has been used. Leaves us a balance of 4.5 million for the remaining 5 months. We have, as of the day I did this, we had 80 instructional student days, and that was as of when I did this. The average monthly expenditures as reaching 602,575 through January versus 595,296 in FY25. We've increased that expense by 7,279. We've received through January 2.4 million already. We entered into a new agreement with Holton Dance and Studio through just June. That's gonna bring an extra $700 a month in. All the W-2s are out. The 1099s are all done. I attended a collective bargaining workshop put on by Drummond and Woodsum, and that was on January 22nd. And I actually learned a lot from Drummond and Woodsum at that time. And the Department of Education did put out a refresher on how to use the grants for the reimbursement systems. There was one for January 29th and February 4th, and unfortunately I've missed both. And that's all I have right now.
Questions from Ron?
No questions for.
Thank you, Ron.
yeah.
Go ahead.
What?
Superintendent.
Questions out on that one?
All right, so let's see what we've got. So we already kind of talked a second about the 279, so it is it's a little lower than we would like to see it, but we will work with that and give you more information as we sort through some things. Shelley Farrington has been a cheerleader for replacing equipment and modernizing the playground over to Granite Street. She's been working on it for a couple of years now. A couple of things have been a real eye-opener. For a grant that she applied for, she had to know the age of the playground equipment that's there. And she was really, really surprised when Louis was telling her how old it was. And I actually thought I had that right here.
Just calculate to when I was moving over to the middle school and they replaced some of the playground, but not all of it.
Oh,
There was
really?
there used to be a big metal spider in the middle of it and I loved it. My favorite thing.
In 2005, for the bargain price of $20,793, there was actually a big renovation in the playground and whatnot over there when they added the cafeteria wing. $20,000 in 2005, and that was a big renovation. $20,000 was a big renovation. All right, okay, so just takes a minute to think about that, right? So Louis was saying that a lot of the equipment is, 20 plus years old. So some grants that she's applied for is one through Bangor Savings Foundation for $25,000. That's the maximum gift through them. The Mackenzie Foundation is the maximum gift through them is $250,000. She is already into the second phase of the Bangor Savings grant. And the Mackenzie one is due no later than March 1st. So hearing anything on that would be a little while. She wanted to give credit to some of the people that were helping She's had meetings that folks have shown up to. She's had some like design people show up, so she's got all kinds of information if you're interested in any of that. And she's also met with the town. So in order to go for grants that are a little bit larger, kind of needed to create kind of like a ripple effect out into the Millinocket community. And so there's different playgrounds around your community, and some of those are aged as well with not modern or in good condition equipment. So one of the grants that she's applied for actually goes out to the ripple effect part, and it is a more impactful grant application because it affects the whole community. So the town, she's been working with the town is involved in some of that as well. I don't have a dollar amount for that. But she's looking at things like sensory for students who may need something in the sensory area. So that might mean something with tactile with their hands, or it might be a particular kind of swing or a particular kind of slide. Looking at things that have to do with instruments, things that have to do with gross body movement, a lot of natural materials, so less of the plastics or metals and more of the wooden type frame things. So anyway, just wanted to tell you that she's been really working on that, involving as many people as are interested. So if any of you are interested, she's always looking to have more people participate. Louis, I've done my best to give you some of the buildings and ground stuff, but he will give you a lot more information on that. We did have a safety meeting last week. So both schools have done a really good job looking at things like holds, secures, evacuations. We've been talking about that for a couple of years since we've been working on those things here in Millinocket. But we also have found a trainer coming to us from Fort Fairfield who is really involved in the Love You Guys platform, which is the platform that we've adopted here in Millinocket as what we do for a regular protocol. So that we don't have a date for that yet, but that will be great to have somebody's expertise and have them be able to answer questions for folks. Calendar has, we had a calendar meeting with Region 3 a week ago. That's gone out to everybody in the whole system for some feedback. We've gotten things like, can you move this day, or can you move this day, or why do we need this day? And trying to take into consideration all of those things, along with the fact that we can't have more than 5 uncommon days with Region 3. So trying to put that package together. We end up then sending that to you, so you'll see that next month in March. Once that's approved and we've gotten to that level, it will go down to Region 3. They will put it together and look for permission to accept it, to adopt it at the DOE. According to Kurt, it's then like rubber stamped, and then all of the sending schools have, it's kind of big. We kind of all have to work together. So that process is going on, and you should see the calendar here in March. We've also been invited to the New England District Community Consortium, which is a grant opportunity through the Maine Schools Partnership. On February 3rd, we received a letter, and we also received a phone call from this organization to ask us if it was anything that we'd be interested in. So the interesting thing to this is this organization provides free coaching as people from our town, community, school. It has to be broader than just the school. Look at, we have to identify something that we want to improve on, something that we want to work on. They help us collect data, help us make a goal. And then at the end of this in October, if they like our project, they give us money. And it's $100,000 to $500,000 to support the improvement on the goal that we chose. So they're not, it's not like an overlay of, we want everybody to do this or this. It's, what is it that you need for your school? What is it that you would like to do? And then by participating in this, we get the free coaching and get the opportunity for the $100,000 to $500,000. So on the administrative level, we've had this conversation because we just got all of this to see what our interest might be, and I've sent an email out to see if there's any community partners. Because we have to have 1 or 2 community partners, so I'm trying to figure out who has an investment in our school system, who has an investment in something that we might view as a need, and who might be able to help us identify a direction to go that supports the things we're already doing for students and staff. So that's an exciting opportunity. I'm not sure where it's going to lead. I'm not sure if we will accept it and be part of it, but those conversations are just happening now. Have had, since we met last, we've had 2 meetings with the area superintendents. If you remember right now, a couple of board meetings back, everybody voted to pursue what we wanted to do for partnerships or configurations. I've told you about Kat Biddle and Cora Sold as facilitators. This week, they did submit a press release. So I didn't see the newspaper this week, so I don't think it's in the newspaper. Did this in the newspaper this week? Okay. So anyway, we submitted it. It talks about these are the facilitators, and it talks about the phases that facilitation process would go through as they work with, as the facilitators, Kat and Cora, as they work with our 3 communities. So they've started it with talking to the administration. They'll be talking with the school board. They'll talk with students. They'll talk with staff, and then they'll put all of their information together and basically tell us what they've heard, what it looks like. So they won't be saying, based on what we've heard, this is what you need to do. They'll be saying, this is what we've heard. And hopefully it will bring some things that are common between our 3 school systems, or even show some of the things that aren't, which might end up being something that we have to manage or really pay attention to. So you should be seeing a press release in the newspaper. And the next thing being scheduled is the staff meetings. So they're looking at Tuesdays. They're Tuesdays at Granite Street, is that right? And they're Tuesdays at Stearns. Okay, so it should be in a Tuesday. And they'll be coming up here and having conversations with staff. They'll also do that at Millinocket, Medway, and East Millinocket. We don't know what conversations are happening in each place because it's the facilitators and those groups of people. But that's kind of where we are in that process. This continues on too. This is the district reorganization discussion facilitation plan proposal. If this is anything that you're interested in, it's just kind of like some highlights of slides, and it basically talks about the time frame. So the end of this is community conversations in the spring or summer of 2026. So that's the timeframe that they've provided, and we'll see how that.
So I know you had
goes.
mentioned approximately 7 months.
Yeah,
Didn't you?
yeah, yep. I guess the last thing is let me see if it's the last thing or not. Revolving funds. Okay, I guess the last thing is, we have a communication committee, which we started here in this school system a couple of years ago. We met probably 6 weeks ago, and one of the recommendations was to try and put more information into the newspaper. So what we were talking about is, where do people seek information? And depending on basically your age group, right? Some people go to Facebook, others do messaging. Some people look at the website, like there's all kinds of mediums for messaging. And so the committee was thinking that there's enough of a group of people in Millinocket that buy and enjoy the newspaper. Kevin, you've mentioned this multiple times, that I reached out to Brian and asked if we could have like a segment or a section. And so it looks like it's going to be titled Inside Millinocket Schools, Learning, Leading, Growing. and it will be a once a month publication. And the way it's looking right now, it looks like it will be kind of like a high view. Like, so not necessarily on how we're running everything, but on some points of interest of things going, maybe a couple of things coming in the future, maybe a couple of things about budget or a couple of things about sports or performances. You know, like, so it's kind of gonna be a higher view. So hoping that people will see what's happening here and then always know that they can reach out to Granite Street Central Office, Stearns, whatever, for more information. So as a result of that, communication committee, it looks like that will, be off the ground. Hopefully after this
Oh.
meeting, actually, will be the first time, because we decided to kind of line them up with, board meeting days, because there's so much information shared at that time.
But just so many things our school and our staff are doing. And parents of students maybe know a little bit about it, but there's a big community out there that we need to support the schools. And we gotta let them know the good things we're doing. And somehow we gotta get that out to them. What a
Right.
great staff we have, programs we're doing, grants we're getting. There's only few people that really know what's happening, and we gotta get that out there.
And that's all I.
Any questions about Dwayne? Motion to enter an executive session, and there will be no results of this executive session.
Motion to enter into executive session pursuant to one MRSA subsection 405(6)(f), information in confidential records.
I think so.
Gotcha. All in favor? Do you have a question?
No.
All in favor, 5-all. All right.
You wanna see what the meetings are, You wanna see what the upcoming meetings are?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Upcoming meeting, March 10th, 2026, April 7th, 2026, May 5th, 2026, and June 2nd, 2026. Now, we're gonna say
32.